Hi and welcome back to the channel, and today I want to talk to you about something that's pretty important. It's what we call the lever system. How the levers work in the golf swing is really what's going to help you to generate club head speed and also better strikes on the ball. If you want to hit the ball better, you're going to have to do this drill. Okay, come on, let's go do it. So what is the lever system? Okay, the levers, right, we have mainly two main levers in our golf swing. It's my arm is a lever, but also my wrists are a lever as well. And hinging and unhinging of the wrists is really key to the golf swing. We see so many golfers, they perfect the body motion and so forth. Yes, the body is important and it does combine with the levers, but we see golfers neglect how they use their hands and arms and wrists. And it's one of those things that we have to remind them. I think there's so much instruction out there now where it's talk about, take the hands out of it and don't use the hands in the golf swing and so forth. I sort of half agree with that, but I agree that it's more to do with how you use them, because I don't think you could use your hands enough. But if you use them correctly, then that's a totally different story. It's more to do with not so much taking the hands out and making them stiff. It's more to do with reducing forearm rotation through the swing or rotation of the wrists. That's what you're really trying to reduce. So we'll simply put it, we've got to try and build the lever system up, and that's one of the key things. And if you can build it slowly and surely, you will start to see A, more distance, and also B, better strikes and contact on the ball. C, you could throw in there and say you'd have more control, but that's more to do with how you use the hands and arms. So I want to show you that and really give you an idea and perspective of what the lever system is and then how to build it with a drill that we do, which you've probably seen on my channel before and also in my social medias. But it's a real foundation of the golf swing, and it's something that you really should master. So simply put, the golf swing really quite simply is just this action. It's just me swinging the club head back and forth. You probably see tour pros do this on the TV, when they're just relaxing on the tee, they're waiting for it to clear, the green to clear, or they're just held up a little bit. You'll see them just relaxing and just swinging the club head back and forth this way. And what they're doing is literally that. They're allowing the club head to swing. But at this point here, what they're doing is they're allowing the wrist to hinge in the backswing, unhinge through the weight of the club. The weight of the club is doing that for me, and then rehinge on the forward swing on this side of the body. So they're just naturally doing this back and forth, and they'll either do it with their left hand, or you'll see them stand there and they'll just swing the right hand back and through, and they're just doing this motion. It's a real simple motion, and this is literally the golf swing right here. If you can learn to do this motion of swinging, hinging the wrist on the backswing, unhinging and rehinging, you've pretty much nailed the golf swing. It is that simple, because if I suddenly now start to add in body motion, suddenly I've got myself a golf swing. So being able to do this motion is important, and it's about pivoting the club. And what do I mean by pivoting? Well, the butt end of the handle, at some point, mainly down here in front of you, you want the butt end of the club and the club head to pass each other and pivot. And that's where pivoting happens. When you're doing the one-handed swings, ironically, the pivot action will happen probably this side of your body. You'll have to do it sooner rather than sort of hold the angle and then try to do it. You want to be doing it as soon as you possibly can. Get the pivot action happening as soon as you can. Now, a lot of people will say to me, oh, you're flipping it. You're teaching people to flip the hands and flip the club head. No, I'm not, because if I was to add in body motion and use my hip correctly, that flip, if you want to call it, will happen over here. But in reality, it feels like it's happening here, if that makes sense. I hope it does. But it actually happens later on, once I add in the body motion. So yes, the body is important. So learn to do this first of all. Mike, my coach, calls it the look cool drill. So, it's what you see the guys on the TV doing, they're looking cool. And what you've got to remember, the tour pros, is they've already learnt this skill. And it's something that they've done since they were young kids. They've learnt how to hinge the wrists, unhinge them and rehinge them. And yes, maybe in some cases they need to hold that back a little bit. But 80 to 90% of players out there in the world, they need to encourage it more. It's something that they don't get taught enough of, okay? So it's really important you learn to do that first of all. So learning to swing the club this way is really key to learning the golf swing. It's also worth noting as well, though, you've got to make sure you've got a good grip on the club as well, the correct grip for this sort of motion. You don't want to have any sort of funky angles, or hands around here and so on, because you're going to find it very, very hard. And one of the key things you want to make sure is it's in the fingers. So just keep a side note of that. I've got other videos on how to hold the club, and I'll share those in the description below. But it's worth noting that you do that time first on making sure this is correct, so that you can hinge and unhinge the wrist correctly. So just make sure you do that. So a great way to train this is actually by doing what we call it L to L. And you're literally going to just swing the golf club back, and you're going to just hinge the wrist as soon as you can. You're going to feel the butt end of the club and the club head come up. You're going to feel, the butt end of the club go down and the club head come up, and you're going to hinge and set the wrists in the backswing. And you're going to create what we call an L shape in the backswing. So you can see how my wrists are, my wrist is fully hinged here, and the club is pointing up towards the sky, while my left arm is parallel to the ground. I'm then going to unhinge. So I'm going to allow the weight of the club to force my wrist to unhinge. Remember, that's key. Allow the weight of the club to let them hinge. Don't physically throw at it, okay, and do that. You want to just let the weight of it happen. So I'm going to swing back, L shape in the backswing, hinge down and hit the ball, and then I'm going to hinge up on the forward swing through here. I'm not going to use my body much. I'm just going to allow the club head to pass my chest. What I don't want you doing is doing that. I want you to just allow the club head to just swing past my chest, and I want you to then stop here when my right arm is now parallel to the ground, and I've rehinged the wrists again so that the wrist is now fully set on this side. I'm creating a reverse L on this side of my body. So just again on that one, I'm going to take the club back, I'm going to allow the wrist to hinge. I feel as though I'm pushing the handle down, lifting the club head up, unhinge and rehinge with minimal amount of body work. Just from this side, if I do it, I'm not going to hit the ball here. Actually, I'll move him off the mat. So I'm just going to literally go hinge, unhinge, rehinge. What you can also do, as I've just done there, I have to use a mat here. I get asked why do I use a mat. It's because I don't really want to damage the whole putting green. So you can see where I'm wearing a patch out here on this one. I have to rotate it. I've got other grass patches though, but anyway, that's by the by. So literally, L shape on the backswing, unhinge, rehinge. And that's all I'm doing. And that's going to be the same with every club in your bag. Now for this, you can hit shots doing this. Make sure your grip is correct. And you can literally hit shots doing this as well. So you don't have to go hard or fast. I've got an 8-iron here. I'm literally going to do this very, very slowly. Hinge back and chip through. I'm just going to chip it. That's all I want you to do. And this action, you're just training the hinge one. Now the one that most people are going to find the hardest to do is the rehinge on the way through. So what we see a lot of amateurs do is they will hold the angle. Mostly they'll hold the angle because they think they're trying to keep the club face square to the target, or they're trying to hold the angle to create more speed and power that way. It's an ineffective way to create speed and power. So just doing L to L is going to really seriously improve your game. So just practicing swinging that hinge in here, create an L and an L. That's all I'm thinking about. You can start to build speed up, L to L, and start building speed up, and just build it up very, very slowly and gradually to then get yourself more confident with it. With the same action with every single club in the bag. So it's very important. Now, you can physically just do the L to L, but a great tip that I was shown the other day is to actually do this, but take away your left thumb and just hold it like this. Now, taking that away, the left thumb puts sometimes too much pressure on the grip and will force you to throw it. So sometimes it makes the left thumb become a thrower when you have it on the side there instead of a stabilizer. What I mean by stabilizing, at the top really it just stabilizes, but you don't want to have it pushing the handle, which we see sometimes golfers do. If I just have that there and I make a swing, I can do a 10-fingered grip if I wanted to, and I can just feel the freedom now in that action. Apparently Claude Harmon, Butch Harmon's dad, he won the Masters without his left thumb on the handle and just holding it this way with a 10-fingered grip. It creates that lever system. You could hit shots doing that. It will feel a bit funky, but basically it's just going to give me the freedom to swing the golf club and release the handle on the way through. Rather than holding it back, I'm releasing the club head. It's a great thing to practice to do that. Once I've done that with there, I can then put the thumb back on, and then it will just feel as though I've got a lot more security there, but I'll have a sense still of the hands or the wrists swinging and releasing freely through. Okay, you'll see, if you're struggling with distance, you'll see your distance seriously spike because you're using the lever system. Sorry, I get told off for calling it the lever system. The lever system, it really helps you. So just try that little trick there. So not only just practice swinging L to L, try taking that left thumb off and doing exactly the same thing. You'll feel this real sense of the club head swinging freely through the shot. Okay, so it is also something that you can do with the driver as well. You're going to work your way through the set, but again, start off slow and then build up. Don't be afraid to do it with the driver. It will feel strange and it will feel a bit flippy again, as I say, but just practice with the driver, just practicing that, just sort of going from L to L. Okay, you don't need too full a swing. I was probably a bit too full there, but just practice L to L. You'll get so much more club head speed. It's just, with it being a longer club, you just need to time that up differently. So just practice going from L, hit, to L. Just practice that. Do that as much as you possibly can. Just go from L to L. It's going to feel very strange and very different, but it's important that you do it with the driver as well. Get used to it, get comfortable with it, and then start to then blend the swing up and make the swing longer. Basically, L to L is really my golf swing, okay, and all I have to do eventually is add in more body work. As soon as I can master the L to L positions, then I'm going to hit the ball a lot better and definitely a lot further. So there you have it. Thanks for watching, and I really hope you enjoy that one. So L to L is really a foundational move that you have to learn to do in the golf swing. A lot of golfers avoid it. They don't take the time in learning this motion. Why? Probably because they're being told they've got to take their hands out of it. Golf pros as well are very afraid to teach people to use their hands. You use your hands in other sports as well, so why not golf? I understand why, because it can create other areas, but if you're doing it correctly, and I've done videos on how the wrists hinge and so on, but you've got to learn this skill of letting the club, you hinge it, release it, hinge it. If you don't learn that skill, your golf's just going to suffer. Anyway, thank you again for watching. I really hope you enjoyed the video. Please help me out by subscribing. I know a few of you aren't subscribers yet, but hopefully you will soon. And also give it a nice like and a thumbs up down below as well, and that will really help me out. If you have any questions or comments about it, please also let me know. I happily answer all my comments that I get come through. If you have any questions about it, I'll answer it. Anyway, have a great weekend. Enjoy your golf if you're playing. If the weather holds out, it's only holding out today, this week here in the UK. Hopefully they'll get better. This morning I had a big double coat on in July. What's that all about? Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll catch you again soon.